Howdy, folks. Spencer here, and today I want to talk to you about the latest news for Star Trek Online. And as you can see up on screen, it is not all good news. There's been some more departures from the dev team in the past couple of weeks, and as time goes on, we're going to continue to see most of the Cryptic team move on to other opportunities. But before I get into that big topic, there's a couple of in-game events I want to go over quick, so let's get them out of the way. And as always, chapters are listed down below. First up, for those of you over on console, there's an upgrade event starting later today that will be running up through March 4th. So if you have anything you're looking to upgrade, this is a great time to do so. And for those of us on PC, we had a very large pre-patch happen the other day, and apparently the patch itself is just 3 line items. This doesn't seem like it should warrant 4 gigs of download, but apparently it does. They resolved an issue with Wolf 359 where you could use the subspace jumper console to jump inside the cube, and if you were then in the Nadarian Defender, you could turn on that mode and hit all sides of the cube. So they have fixed that nice little exploit. They resolved an issue with the Assets tab not correctly displaying a captain's current expertise value, and there's some minor UI optimizations to improve performance. You know, there's a lot of issues going on with the game right now, and it annoys the hell out of me that they don't even bother to put some of this stuff on known issues. Like, I know that they're aware of things. I know that they've got some things fixed internally. Like, does this patch include the fix for Organic Nebula? You know, that they know now about malicious AI and a bunch of other stuff. Why isn't there known issues listed here? I don't get it. So I guess this is what the 4 gig patch is for, these 3 line items. So I mean, hopefully the UI optimizations have or are going to help quite a bit. But yeah, definitely a disappointing set of patch notes for all the issues we've had in the game recently. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the main topic. Okay, and for this, there have been some recent departures, some of which I've covered in some recent videos. The most recent being just from this past Tuesday, where I talked about Al Rivera leaving and how Thomas Marone, the art director for the game, has also posted now on LinkedIn that he is looking for opportunities elsewhere. Though Thomas is still on the Stowe team, he is looking for a new job opportunity for the next chapter of his career. So it's just a matter of time until Thomas and many others on the team also depart Cryptic Studios. And the video I put out on Tuesday breaks down everything that's caused the current situation. So if you're not sure why we're seeing the Cryptic dev team leave, then go check that video out. Again, I'll have it linked down below. But the most recent departure is Jonathan Herlache. And Jonathan here has been the lead systems designer for the game for the past year or so. He's been a systems designer at Cryptic for quite a long time. But when Bordicus moved on to one of the other projects Cryptic was working on, Jonathan took over as the lead. And under his lead, there was quite a few changes to some mechanics. There's a big shift with ship design in the game. He went through and did things differently than how Bort had done them. He was willing to take risk and try new things, and because of that, we received quite a few very nice items that really shook things up over the past year that have allowed for many other alternative playstyles to become viable. You know, the big one being Plasma, and of course Isomags and the advanced consoles in general. You know, his work there has given us many different ways to play the game and to find new ways to enjoy it. So losing Jonathan here is a big blow. It really does suck that the Embracer situation happened and he was forced to you know, be put in this position. It sucks for everyone there, and it just, you know, it really does suck because he was just really starting to really get into it and really push out some amazing items that were really helping out a bunch of different play styles. And then a lot of his work just got put on hold with everything that happened last year. And some of you may recall the clip from the 10 forward that I played a couple times where he talks about how some of his stuff was on hold, and I'll replay that here for you quick.
all of my timelines are on hold as we, as Jakar put it, enter a time of transition. I don't really know what the future will hold for my various schemes and things that I had like in flight under the hood. All that
just
stuff
because
is question marks right now.
we're looking at the schedule for the new year and planning some things around. Sorry, Jonathan, to cut you off. The way you said that sounded a little more dire than it actually is. So I wanted to make
Okay.
sure people knew. Uh, it's just because we're diving into schedule stuff, like Jared was talking about.
You could tell by his facial expressions as Kale was talking there that there was a bit more going on. So I can't say that this was unexpected, but it still sucks. Like we knew that it was probably just a matter of time. I mean, Jonathan did have open to work on his profile near the end of December and early January, I believe. So we knew it was just a matter of time, and it stings. But there's a lot of people that have been doing a lot of great work on the Stowe team that have basically been put in a position where they have to look for opportunities elsewhere because of everything that happened with the Embracer and all that over the past year or so. And what's happening right now, like I talked about in the video the other day, is that Cryptic got moved out from under Gearbox to Deca Games. And what's basically happening is Cryptic is basically being merged into Deca, and Deca over time is going to take over development of the game. We're seeing more and more people from Cryptic leave. The system side has seen quite a few losses. Joe Harrington left back in November. Now Jonathan Herlache here left this month. It's just not a good time. Now Deca has hired some people in recent times, so these roles are not vacant. Charles here was hired right around the same time as some of the other people Deca hired to work on Stowe. I don't know if he's working on Stowe, but the timing does line up if with the other hires that they did. And one of the things with Deca, at least, is they have been going out and with a lot of these positions to work on Stowe, they have been looking for people that have an interest in Star Trek. So, Deca is not going to just hire completely random people for every role. They're looking for people that do actually have an interest in Star Trek. So we've seen Flo here. She was hired recently as well, and she used to work on Star Trek Infinite, and she's a writer and is going to be working on continuing the Star Trek Online story. So we know that Deca is going to continue keeping things running, but like I've talked about in the other videos, over time we're just going to see more and more departures from the Cryptic dev team, and eventually you'll see that Deca pretty much comprises most of the dev team. So it really sucks. There's a lot of institutional knowledge being lost. Stowe has a lot of issues. We've seen that this past month has been quite rough with the bugs and just the quality of some stuff released. And I think with the amount of departures that we're seeing, that we're bound to see a few more rough patches throughout the year. And that's going to be it for today. As more news pops up about the Deca stuff, I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. But as always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.